Hello, champion. Today, I want to take you on a journey. A journey through my life, one that I haven't shared with many people. This is a story of loss, struggle, pain, and ultimately triumph. I'm sharing this with you because I believe that no matter what you're going through, no matter how dark things seem right now, there is always hope. There is always a way forward, and I want to help you find that light within yourself. I was born into a family filled with love, but also with challenges. My parents were everything to me. They were my world. But life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. When I was just a young child, I lost my mother. She was taken from me far too soon, and the pain of that loss was overwhelming. I remember standing by her graveside, a small child who didn't fully understand what was happening, but knew that something had changed forever. My father tried to be strong for me, but I could see the pain in his eyes every day. He was my rock, the one person I could rely on. But tragedy struck again. And not long after losing my mother, I lost my father too. Suddenly, I was alone in the world, an orphan with no one to turn to, no one to hold me and tell me that everything was going to be okay. After losing my parents, I was placed in the care of relatives who, though they took me in, didn't have the means or the desire to give me the love and support I needed. I felt like an outsider, a burden. I learned quickly that the world doesn't stop for your grief. Life moves on, whether you're ready or not. I was still just a child, but I had to grow up fast. There were times when I went to bed hungry, times when I felt so alone that I thought I might disappear and no one would notice. School was no escape either. I was the kid with no parents, the kid who didn't have the nice clothes or the latest toys. I was bullied, ridiculed, and often left out. I began to believe the lies that were told to me, that I was worthless, that I would never amount to anything. There comes a point in everyone's life when they have to make a choice to give up or to fight. For me, that moment came one cold winter's night. I was sitting alone, feeling more hopeless than I ever had. The weight of everything I had lost was crushing me. I thought about my parents and how they would have wanted better for me. I thought about the life I was living, the endless cycle of pain and despair, and I knew I couldn't go on like this. In that moment, something inside me shifted. I realized that I didn't have to be defined by my past. I didn't have to let the loss and the pain control my future. I could choose to rise above it. I could choose to fight for a better life. And so I did. The road to recovery wasn't easy. In fact, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I started by focusing on my education. I knew that if I wanted to change my life, I needed knowledge. I threw myself into my studies, often staying up late into the night reading books, learning everything I could. I didn't have the support of family, but I had my determination, and that was enough. I also knew that I had to take care of myself physically. I started working out, not just to build my body, but to build my mind. Exercise became a way to channel my anger, my frustration, and my sadness into something productive. With every push-up, every run, I felt myself getting stronger, not just physically, but mentally. But more than anything, I focused on my mindset. I began to practice gratitude, even when it felt like there was nothing to be grateful for. I forced myself to find one thing each day to be thankful for, even if it was something as small as a warm meal or a kind word from a stranger. Slowly, I started to see the world differently. I started to believe that maybe, just maybe, there was a place for me in it. As time went on, my hard work began to pay off. I graduated from high school with honors, something I never thought possible. I went on to college, working multiple jobs to pay my way through. It wasn't easy, but every challenge I faced only made me more determined. I knew that I wanted to help others who were going through what I had gone through. I wanted to be the voice of hope that I so desperately needed when I was younger. So I started speaking out, sharing my story, and offering words of encouragement to those who felt lost and alone. I found a passion for motivational speaking, for inspiring others to believe in themselves even when the world seems against them. And that's what led me to start this YouTube channel. I wanted to reach as many people as possible to let them know that no matter how hard things get, no matter how much you've lost, you can always rebuild. You can always create a life worth living. I'm sharing my story with you today, not because I want sympathy, but because I want you to know that you're not alone. If you're struggling right now, if you feel like the world has forgotten you, I'm here to tell you that it hasn't. You matter. Your story matters, and you have the power to change it. Life is hard. It's unfair. It will knock you down more times than you can count. But every time you get back up, every time you push forward, despite the odds, you're proving to yourself and to the world that you are stronger than your circumstances. You are more than your past. You are more than the pain you've endured. So I challenge you today to take that first step toward reclaiming your life. It doesn't matter how small that step is. What matters is that you take it. Start by believing in yourself, even if no one else does. Start by setting small goals and then work relentlessly to achieve them. Surround yourself with positivity, with people who lift you up rather than drag you down. And most importantly, never give up. No matter how dark things seem, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. You are capable of more than you know. You have a strength within you that is greater than any obstacle you will ever face. Tap into that strength and let it guide you. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it has inspired you to fight for your life, to fight for your dreams, and to never, ever give up. Remember, your story isn't over. It's just beginning. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep moving forward. You've got this. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more motivational content. And remember, you are never alone in your journey. We're in this together.